The producers of The Simpsons say they're going to stop using white actors for the voices of characters from other ethnic backgrounds. The cartoon series has been criticised for years over white actor Hank Azaria's voiceover of Indian character Apu. Mr. Azaria said earlier this year he was stepping down from the role. Friday's announcement comes in the wake, of course, of the Black Lives Matter protests, which were sparked by the death of African-American George Floyd. Well, let's go live to Los Angeles now, and we can speak to Pia Sinha-Roy. She's a freelance film and entertainment journalist who's worked for Entertainment Weekly and The Hollywood Reporter. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So what's your reaction to the announcement?
Well, I think this is very long overdue and, it's needed. It's amazing to me how animation, which is actually free from perhaps a lot of the restrictions that are put on live action, how animation is still overwhelmingly white and male behind the scenes. And so it always seemed crazy to me that Apu, which is one of the only representations of South Asians in Western TV through the 90s, was voiced by a white man who essentially did a caricature of him and put on a very fake accent for him that then became the norm associated with South Asians. So this is very long overdue, and while it's frustrating it's taken so long, I'm glad to see changes happening.
Yeah, how damaging do you think that stereotype has been?
I can tell you, someone who grew up in Surrey, I faced direct bullying associated with Apu as a child because people started using the caricature in a derogatory way to bully me and, to make assumptions about South Asians in general, that South Asians are shady grocery dealers, or, that South Asians have these funny accents that then just become comedic. And remember, there really weren't other South Asian characters on TV in England or in America regularly at that time. So that became the norm that then kind of influenced an entire generation's view of the South Asian diaspora in England and America. And that is hugely damaging. Our entire generation, our second generation children, have been working very hard towards combating that caricature for so long.
Yeah, and what debates over this character and this issue have been going on for years. Is it a testament to the power of this particular moment, this Black Lives Matter, the protest, that things are really starting to change now so quickly when they hadn't before?
I do think that the resurgence in the Black Lives Matter movement that has led to an awareness amongst the white population about what systemic racism is. Before, it was always just kind of focused on police brutality on the Black community. Now it is becoming obvious that the system, the very fabric of our society, every arm, there are prejudices and discrimination taking place, which has led to the overall perceptions and ideas around the minority communities. So I do think that awakening is now leading to change. But I think it's also very disingenuous to believe that, these producers and all these other creators of many other shows that have also been making similar decisions were not aware of this. I, as a journalist covering this industry for the last 6-7 years, have been asking these questions. It's just that they chose it was never important enough to address before then.
Yeah, fascinating to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Pia Sinha-Roy. Thank you.